All right, so in this video, I'm gonna walk you through a tactical, practical guide to get 5 to 15 extra clients in the next 30 days. This isn't theory. These aren't great ideas I came up with after watching a certain book launch in the last couple of weeks. This is the stuff that I've used every time I've launched or relaunched an offer over the last 2 years. And in fact, the format I'm gonna give you is something you can pull out and use in your arsenal every 6 to 8 weeks to bring quick cash into your business. So flash back to middle of 2021 and I read Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Offers. And I knew our offer was good, but I wanted to make it great. So I made it an offer so good, people would feel stupid to say no. And what happened was after we launched that, we got over the next 60 days, 60 clients, a client a day at $10,000 each. So you do the math. Then over the next 90 days, we doubled our business. We went from about $130,000, $160,000 a month to hitting $347,000 cash collected just 90 days later. I've used this same format to launch earlier this year. I filled all of my one-to-one coaching spots, all 30 of them at $3,000 a month in 60 days. Then later this year, just a couple of months ago, I launched a group coaching offer. And this format and this system I'm gonna share with you in this video brought in 35 clients in 30 days. So in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down the 3 key pieces to running a successful cash campaign. Whether you were just starting out and you're wanting to launch your new offer, or whether you have an existing offer and you're simply looking for ways to make it better and promote it better, this video is for you. So the first thing I wanna talk about is your offer. Your offer is the most important piece. When you think about getting an extra 5 to 15 clients over the next 30 days, there are some massive marketing pieces to it. You need to figure out how to promote it, but it starts with your offer. The first thing I wanna talk to you about are 2 frameworks called ROI and COI, and value versus perception. So let's talk about this first piece. When you're making an offer, you need to figure out how to articulate the ROI, which is the return on investment. So when we think back to that 2021 era, when we got 60 clients in 60 days, a big part of us getting that kind of momentum was really maximizing the return on investment, helping people see the tangible results, the dream outcome they were going to experience by working with us. But one of the things that creates urgency and scarcity in people signing up today, rather than saying, hey, this sounds amazing, let me think about it, let me get back to you, I'm in the middle of moving house right now, I'll circle back in 60 days, 90 days, which is a common challenge that we all face in getting clients. We need to figure out how to articulate the COI, which is the cost of inaction. So when you think about your offer, you need to get good at marketing the COI all the time. This is not just a one-time thing. It's not just about a price increase, even though it can be. It's not just about adding in a bonus or a guarantee, even though it can be. It's about getting really good at marketing the cost of an action. What happens if someone doesn't sign up with you today? What's the cost to them if they don't move forward? So this is a really big key I want to break down in a moment. I'm going to share my screen and walk you through templates and scripts and frameworks, but I want you to be thinking about ROI and COI, return on investment, and cost of inaction. The second piece when it comes to our offer is we need to realize there's a difference between reality and perception. So let's start with reality. It's important you actually have a good offer that can get people results. Hopefully this isn't news to you, right? A great offer is not born out of great marketing. It's born out of creating a great product or service. And so what we need to do is make sure that when we are going to launch an offer or relaunch an offer, we want to look at our offer, look at the service or product, and really figure out what are the ways we can solve more problems for the clients who are going to come through this. If you've read $100 Million Offers, which I'm not going to go into, but highly recommend, it breaks down the offer creation basics. And what it does is it actually helps you improve your likelihood that people are going to get results within your world. But that's the reality piece. What we then need to do is increase the value perception, because a lot of coaches, a lot of consultants, a lot of agency owners, they struggle with this idea that they actually have a great service. They have a great program. They have something like they feel like they've yet got to offer the world, but people don't see the value that's really there. So once we start actually making it better in reality, we then have to figure out how to increase the value perception. And so I want to walk you through, I'm going to share my screen just now. I'm going to walk you through some really tangible ways to do that in a practical way. So whether you are launching for the first time and you've never told your audience about your offer, or whether you're just simply looking to dust off the old offer, so to speak, and promote it in a new or fresh way, we're going to walk you through it right now. So let's head over to the computer. All right, so throughout this video, I'm going to walk you through some really tactical, practical pieces to all of this. I'm going to give you a sneak preview right here. We've got all these examples of scripts and posts that you can use. But I want you to realize that it all starts with the offer, right? It starts with the way that we create it to be better, right? So people get better results, so people can see how if they were to use this offer, they're going to get their dream outcome. But we need to increase the value perception, and we need to realize that we need to maximize ROI, return on investment, and COI, cost of inaction. So there are a couple of key ways to do it. So let's kind of dive into the doc. And by the way, if you want this doc, there will be linked in the video below for free. You can go ahead and just, copy paste that into your business. So this is if you are launching a brand new offer or relaunching an old offer, and maybe you're just simply talking about it in a fresh way, or you're maybe bringing some temporary or permanent upgrades to it. Maybe there's some bonuses you're bringing in temporarily. Maybe the price is about to increase permanently. All these frameworks will work for all of the above. So here are core components of a cash campaign offer. Firstly, you need to think about it through the lens of your ideal client, and there needs to be one clear and irresistible dream outcome. Number two is you need to package it in a way that increases urgency and scarcity. Remember I talked about cost of inaction? This is where we want to really show people why now is the best time to work with us. If you're thinking about getting 5 to 15 extra clients over the next 30 days, chances are it's not just keep doing what you've been doing to get there. You need to do something different and position your offer in a different way. And then number three, the way you position it needs to decrease fear and uncertainty. There's reasons why people haven't worked with you yet, right? They're on the fence. They maybe haven't booked a call, or maybe they've booked a call, but they didn't buy. And it's because they don't trust us enough. They don't trust this program. They don't trust that this is the right time. So we need to figure out ways to decrease fear and uncertainty. I'm not going to read through every part of this line for line because you've got access to the doc in the link below, but I'm going to give you some of the highlights that you can figure out to increase the value perception of your offer so more people want to say yes sooner. So number one is you can schedule a price increase. Now this sounds very straightforward, but this is a huge tool in your toolkit when it comes to getting people off the fence and into your offer. Anytime I have a scheduled price increase, I always get an influx of people. And it's because the value perception, the value proposition is very straightforward. This is the cheapest it will ever be, right? I don't do discounts, but what I do is create urgency around price increases. So I always talk in terms of the total investment increase. So even if you have clients paying you weekly or monthly, don't just talk about the smaller payments, like this is going up by $50 a week. Say this is going up by $1,000, right? $3,000, whatever it might be, whatever that true number is. So if you're planning on raising your prices, right? For example, if it's going to be in January, then you can make December the last opportunity to get it at the current price. That's an example of what we call like a Christmas cash campaign. And the frame is cheapest it'll ever be. Number two is you can think about ways to add in bonuses. So if you're, for example, if you're a coach, and you've got mostly group coaching, can you add in one-to-one support? Maybe there is a one-to-one onboarding call with you that you can add in. Can you increase the length? Can you give people 2 months free? I don't personally love this in a lot of instances, but this can work, and we have used it in the past to generate a lot of interest in a short amount of time, simply by saying, hey, we're going to give you $3,000 worth of coaching for free. We're going to give you $3,000 worth of video edits for free, whatever it might be. You can add in a new thing. So one of the things that crushed for us in 2021 was we added in something called the signature offer workshop. And so every person that came to us, a lot of them have insecurity around, is my offer good? Does it sound good? And so what we did is rather than send them to a module, we created a call that they would attend with myself or a coach called the signature offer workshop. We would create their offer live one-to-one with them on that call, and the value perception was really high. That can be an example of an upgrade that you permanently make, or a bonus that is limited time. Number four, you could add in virtual or physical tickets to an event. Maybe it's free, maybe it's discounted. If you're running something upcoming, you can use that as a way. So for example, for me, I do 3 in-person intensives per year. We just had one in New Zealand. We had one in Bali in December. We've got one in Los Angeles. For all of my community members, it's a free event. Everyone else pays $3,000 plus to be there. So that's an example of something that you can bring in, where if you're already doing it or you're planning on doing it, you can use it as a way to bring urgency and scarcity now. Can you add more done for you aspects? So regardless of whether you're an agency or a coach, can you do more for people? So one of the things that crushed for us that I'll go over in the post itself shortly is we brought in different done for you aspects that helped us bring in that 60 clients in 60 days. We hired and trained an appointment setter for people. We hired and trained a virtual assistant. You want to figure out the things that are high value that also sometimes happen to be high cost. cost and have a couple of those that people perceive to be really, really valuable. You don't want to create your whole offer based off high cost aspects, right? But you do want to have it in such a way where you've got some high cost, high value things that people perceive to be really, really valuable. And then the last one here is, can you spread payments out further, or can you change the payment structure? So for example, one of the quickest ways that I can generate momentum in a coaching or agency business is, instead of having people pay monthly, that you can have them pay weekly. So instead of paying $2,000 a month, if you break it down to $500 a week, it's actually easier for people to get started. It's less money down for them to get started in the first place, which makes it more irresistible and easier for more people to start it sooner. Last piece here, that could be an interesting one to play with. We have played with this throughout our business at different times, is backing it with guarantees. Now, you can have for certain products unconditional guarantees, like for whatever reason whatsoever, we're going to give your money back or going to work with you for free until you do. Then there are conditional guarantees, right? And I got this from $100 million offers. If you don't hit goal in time frame, we will give your money back. If you don't hit goal in time frame, we'll work with you for free until you do. If you don't hit goal in time frame, we will cancel your contract. So for example, if it's a 6-month contract and you put a stipulation in there that says, if you're not at X result, or if we haven't delivered on X promise by 90 days in, we will cancel the remainder of your 6-month contract. These are different things that you can do, and what levers that you can pull to decrease the fear and uncertainty and increase the value perception and the likelihood that someone actually wants to get started. Now, a very important note here, we used a guarantee to get those 60 clients in 60 days. We did a couple of really stupid things. Firstly, we didn't make it super clear on what constitutes someone actually qualifying for that guarantee. So it was very vague. We had people claiming guarantees that were also making stacks of money doing what we were teaching them, but it didn't quite fit the wording of how we've talked about the guarantee. And so we were worse because of it. Now I actually have no guarantee whatsoever. My point being is, you can use this as a lever to pull to increase the scarcity and urgency and decrease the fear and uncertainty for someone to want to join. So that is the first piece here of the offer. What you want to do is find a new way to position your offer, whether it's a brand new offer or an existing offer, and find ways to increase the value perception. Get people wanting to join now so they understand why now is the best time to work with you, not 30 days from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. And you can do it by leveraging these different pieces of price increases, bonuses, and guarantees. So let's talk about the second thing, which is promotion. So now we're going to talk about promotion. And what's really cool is, literally between this camera angle and that camera angle, I just got a client, right? I just got the message that a client's about to join from the strategy that I'm literally about to roll out and teach you right in this moment. So let's talk about promotion, okay? When you are creating a cash campaign, you want to create a time frame that you're going to promote. Now, here's what's really important is, hopefully you are promoting in the context of having given a lot of value recently. If you have an audience that is dead, that's unengaged, and all of a sudden you go, hey, remember me, I have something to sell you, it's not going to work nearly as well as if you back it up by weeks or even months of giving to your audience. So that might be something you want to consider if you're re-engaging an old audience or an old channel, if you haven't emailed in a while, if you haven't posted in your Facebook group. You might want to create a couple of week runway at least of just valuable content to warm people up. But now you're at the point where you want to create a cash campaign promotion strategy. And I would say, from my experience, you want this to be between 1 to 2 weeks in length. So keep in mind, we're going to be running something like this every 6 to 8 weeks. Some launches or some promotions are going to be bigger than others. If you've never released this to the public, you might err on the side of 2 weeks. If this is simply a price increase, it might be 7 days. The point is that you don't want to create a time frame that becomes an unsustainable amount of energy to keep up over a long period of time. So recently I launched our community that brought in 35 clients in 30 days, but I made the launch sequence too long. It was like 3.5 weeks. I pre-sold people in, then I was talking about it, then there was a price increase. I would say keep it to 1 to 2 weeks max. And the thing you want to think about is this metaphor of the neon light. You've seen neon lights, they pierce through the darkness, right? Neon lights are so powerful, you cannot miss them. The biggest challenge that I see a lot of people make when it comes to making offers is they do 1, 2, 3 posts and then wonder why it didn't work. Well, we understand the way that algorithms work is if you've got 1,000 friends and you post one time, that post is not going to be seen by all people. You also might have audiences on multiple platforms. So across 1 to 2 weeks, you want the neon light of this offer to be shining bright. You want to be posting about it on your newsfeed, on your stories, in your email. You want to be running retargeting ads if you have an audience there. You want to be posting and promoting wherever you have the audience, and you want to err on the side of posting too much, not too little. Now, when we think about promotion, we break it down into 2 categories: public and private. This is a big mistake I see people make, is they have a warm list. They might have a pipeline of prospects they've talked to in the past, maybe people that should have booked calls that haven't, maybe people that booked calls but didn't show, maybe people who showed up but didn't buy, and we only try and reach them publicly. We send emails and we post things on a newsfeed, and that's okay, but the real magic is following up public with private follow-up as well. So let's talk about public first, and I'm going to walk you through some real world examples of exact posts and scripts that we have used to bring in 5 to 15 clients in 30 days, simply using these copy and paste strategies. So follow me and we'll look at them now. All right, so now I'm going to walk you through some exact templates, not just like the script and I'm giving you a theory. This is the actual templates that made us millions of dollars over the last few years. So let's recap real quick, right? We've looked at the offer. We've looked at ways that we can create urgency and scarcity and decrease the fear and trust and uncertainty, decrease the fear and uncertainty that prospects would have around working with us. We want them to know that this is going to be an incredible offer that gets them their dream outcome, and now is the best time to work with us. Once we've done that, we want to package it in such a way that it is really clear and simple, concise, what it is we're offering and what it is we're asking them to do to take action on this. So if you can see this here, I have a bunch of different examples that you can pull upon with links that you can actually check out. Some of them are in my Facebook group. If you click that, you'll be approved into that. That is not a Facebook group growth strategy. That's just where these posts happen to be. But let me show you a couple of examples here. So this is inside of my group, and I want to walk you through an example here. Now, the key is not copying and pasting this word for word. It is finding your best version of this that works for your offer and your audience. But I want to show you the template that worked because this is what's worked for me. Okay. So as you can see here, call to action here was comment offer below. If you are wanting to generate a lot of calls, right, which I know a lot of you are, then starting conversations in the DMs is the best way to do that. I found simply asking people to directly book in a call is not nearly as effective as getting them to comment below. And then you can start the conversation there and then move towards a call, or in my case, no sales calls and just closing in the chat. So let's walk through a number of these things. So you can see the timestamp here, August 10th, 2021, like I mentioned, and this got, I think, over 256 comments. So it worked really, really well. This was the post that kicked off the 60 clients in 60 days. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of key things here, right? An offer so good, you'd feel stupid saying no. Super creative. Thank you, Alex Hormozy. And I was really clear. If you're this type of person and you're looking for this, right? This is for you. This post is for you. So getting really clear at the start of your action post, of your promotion posts, about who this is for will hook the right people in and repel the wrong people away. Now, you think about this, the key here is we already had this offer for a really long time. This was not a brand new offer. This was not a new name. This was something that we'd been running for a long time, had a couple of hundred clients through, but this was an upgrade to an existing offer. And so this post is about the upgrade and the changes that we had made to make it even more irresistible. Okay. So we talked about that signature offer workshop, which I mentioned earlier. High converting group funnel will give you the step-by-step cheat sheet to set up a high converting Facebook group, and then wait for it. We'll find you and train a VA in brackets done for you, because our audience absolutely loves when we do stuff for them. Plus we'll arm them with the exact SOPs, appointment setting system. We will write 100% custom appointment setting script specifically for your niche and offer. Then we'll find an affordable appointment setter for you. Then once we have them, then we'll train them for you. Sales call reviews, ads and funnels, right? We do all of these things. We give them the ads and funnel templates, and then you can book in a session with one of our experts who will troubleshoot and solve the problem for you. Hopefully you can start to see why this might have resonated and crushed with our audience. Then we talk about the coaching support, and then at the end, we have the summary here. So it's literally the step-by-step. This is what we did. Again, I'm going to show you a number of different templates. I don't want to choose one and copy and paste it. I want you to find your version of what will work best for you, for your audience. But I want you to take the intent of what I'm trying to show you, which is it's clear and it's concise. It's not rambling marketing messaging. It's very clear value proposition. If you're this type of person who wants this type of the result, here is what we're offering right now, and here is how you can take action on it. Here's another example here, breaking down what scalability.com my business does, and then again talks about it like this, really straightforward. Here's another one here, not just another course. If you want hands-on, done for you help getting to 100K a month, this is for you, and then break it down step by step. Last thing here, I just used this the other day. This generated dozens and dozens of leads, and this was a really, really straightforward post, okay? So what you want to think about here is that over 2 weeks, you want to be bringing in a number of different angles. I don't mean reposting the same thing over and over again, but what you want to be doing is finding different angles and different ways to talk about this. So for example, you might kick it off with a post like this, which is the kind of offer so good element. This is the clear and concise
offer presentation that's going to increase the value perception of what it is you have to sell and bake in the urgency and scarcity needed for people to say yes now. But there's a number of different ways you can approach this, right? So across that 2 weeks, you can also add in an element like this, right? Where you can bring in another element and another call to action to generate leads. You can also look at it from this perspective, right? Just a simple post that's just reinforcing the fact that the price is about to increase. Not sure why this isn't loading, but hopefully you guys can see that okay. This is just another angle that you can take in this 2 week period. And it's really important to note that when we're posting on the news feed, we were also posting on stories, we're posting on news feeds, we were also running retargeting ads. It doesn't matter if you don't do all of them. The point is, whatever channels you have at your disposal, wherever your audience might be, you're trying to shout it from the rooftops. The metaphor of the neon sign is the thing you want to keep thinking about. The last thing I'm going to mention here when you're talking about the public promotion, and I encourage you to check out all of these different posts to see all the different angles you can integrate into a 1 to 2 week cash campaign, is social proof. Here's really, really important. Social proof is number one, you want to be sharing when other people are joining in on this offer, whether it's a coaching program, whether it's an agency service. No one likes that feeling of going first and being the crash test dummy, right? So actually saying, like, let me show you an example here. This is an example of like the first client that signed up for our community offer. I publicly promoted it. Shout out to this person who just joined in. If you want to find out more about how to get awesome result in this time frame, let me know below. And then I just kept pumping with different social proof because people are trying to understand two things. Does this work and will this work for someone like me? So the more case studies and social proof you can bring into this cash campaign, the more effective it will be. And it can be as simple as simply posting something like this, or you can go a little bit deeper. Maybe you have a model where, like me, I do what I teach. So sometimes the best case study I can share is just my business. Hey, here's what I've done and what's worked for me. And so you can see here, this was when we hit 347,000 cash, 343 was through Stripe. And so just like a good guru, I screenshotted that Stripe screenshot and shared it. But there are so many different angles you want to be integrating into the promotion strategy from a public perspective. You want to be talking about your offer in a simple and clear way. You want to be bringing in social proof and different elements so people can see how this would work and how this could work for someone like them. The last piece I want to share with you is the private element. So once you've redesigned your offer and upgraded it or distilled the key pieces you want to promote, once you've actually promoted them and figured out over those 2 weeks what your strategy is going to look like, I want to talk to you about the secret behind all of why this works so well and has worked so well for me in the past, which is the private element. So let's talk about that.
This is the work that most people are repelled by and don't want to do, but frankly, it's the moneymaker. I want you to think about this for a second. The more conversations you have, the more money you will make. And so when you're thinking about running a cash campaign, there are two elements of private that I really want you to lean into. There's a hack that I do anytime I'm releasing anything. And the first part of this is I always get feedback in the DMs first. So for example, if you've gone ahead and created this public promo post that you're going to put out around your offer, what I would do is I would take that copy, put it in a Google Doc or a Notion doc, and send it to two groups of people, clients and prospects. And the only feedback you're looking for is, does this speak to you? And is this something that would speak to you enough that you would want to join it? Now, really important when you're sending it to prospects, you're not trying to sell them right there in the DMs. That might happen by accident, which is always a lovely thing. But what you want to be doing is getting feedback. So whenever I was launching the community a few months ago, as I was putting together the doc that I ended up using to sell it without sales calls, a $15,000 offer that's now an $18,000 offer, what would happen is I would finish different pieces of the doc and then I would screenshot it and then share it with a prospect or a client and go, hey, I'm just curious, does this resonate with you, right? And what would be happening is people would give me real feedback. And if they said no, that was a fantastic point that I'm off the mark. And if they said yes, I would ask something like, what specifically really stood out to you? Thanks so much for your feedback. This is incredibly helpful for me. The more that you can get people's feedback before you actually go public, the better it's going to be, right? So many of us just sit in our Zoom rooms, curtains closed, like headphones in, we freaking knock out this doc, we think it's gonna be amazing, and then we post it and it doesn't get the traction that we wanted. And it's because we want to get feedback along the way. So that's the first piece. But the second piece is, once you've gone live with this cash campaign, right? You've publicly talked about it maybe once or twice. Now I want you to do something really important. I want you to create a warm list of contacts that you're now going to reach out to personally. Not in some big group chat, not in some big spam copy paste message, but individualized, personalized touch points so you can see if this person might be interested in what you have. So let me give you an example. When you are putting this together, I want you to put together a list of all of the people that you would consider to be a part of your warm audience. I wouldn't start spamming people you don't know, but I would think about the people who have been in conversation with in the past. We call this like a sales pipeline, right? Who are the people you've been in conversation with that should have booked a call or should have bought something but haven't? Who are the people that booked but didn't show but didn't buy? Who are the people that you would consider to be a part of your warm audience? The second group is who are the people who might know someone that this would be perfect for. So what I want to walk you through is a couple of key scripts that might be really helpful for you. Now, I could have written scripts all day and just shared like 30, but the point is that you're going to get the idea as I share them in just a moment. And the biggest thing is that you want to adopt and adapt them for your audience, your voice, and your offer. The key point here is that whatever it is you send, it's personalized and individualized, and you're trying to generate interest to see if this person might be a great fit for this offer, if this might be something they're looking for. So let's jump back onto the computer and I'll walk you through some of these scripts now.
All right, now let's walk through a handful of private one-to-one scripts that you can use and adapt into your business for your audience, your offer, and your own voice. Now, keep in mind, here's the thing I'm really trying to emphasize here. When running a cash campaign, we want to reach out privately to people in our warm audience. Again, we're not spamming strangers, but we are trying to tap into anyone we've built some level of rapport with in the months, weeks, months, or years you've been in business. You want to be thinking quality over quantity. This is not the type of thing where you sit down, you write a message, and then you send it out to 100 people and you hope for the best. This is something that you send to 10 people, you iterate, you see what's working, what's not, and how people are responding. And then you want to experiment. This is something that I've used personally with a combo. Let me just change that here. With a combo of text and video. Now, keep in mind, if you're sending a video, just keep it really short. But videos for me have also worked really well because, again, there's another level of personalization. So rather than me just sending this, if I have really good rapport with someone, I might just reach out to them and say this script on video to just build that next layer of individualization. So let's look at number one. Number one, and each one of these is a different message. So it's not one big block of message if you're in Messenger or Instagram or something like that. You can separate them. First message, click send. Second message, click send, and so on and so forth. So let's look for the first script. Hey, first name, we're testing something new out this week that'll help you overcome objection. Now, this will be related to something you know about this person. If you don't know what objection that you are dealing with, the reason they haven't signed up so far, then you might just talk about the result. That'll help you get to 50K a month faster. I know you were saying that, and again, you can use this if you've talked to them in the past. If not, you can kind of eliminate this piece. I know that you were saying that blank was keeping you from being able to move forward. So I was putting together this program and I thought of you. Want me to send over more information? No worries either way. And what will happen is a lot of those people, because it's such a genuine low risk commitment they're making, which is that you're only asking if they want information, most of them are going to say yes. And then what I would do is then I would send a link to that clear and concise offer promo that I've put together on my Facebook or my Instagram or in a doc so I can send it over right then and there. And then basically you can send it over if they say yes. And you basically say, if you are interested in this, let me know and we can kind of chat over what this might look like for you. Okay. So this is like version number one that you can try. Number two is you can say something like, I'm testing something new that'll allow you to come in for less down and be able to cash flow quicker. So this was really good if you were dealing with someone that had a cash flow challenge and that's the reason why they didn't join. And if you had a price increase or maybe you've changed from monthly pricing to weekly pricing, this can be a great way to do it. Whatever you say here, this is really just about catering to whatever this person's objection might have been. Maybe it was like not enough time to implement. So it's like, I'm testing something new that'll actually allow you to get 2 additional months free coaching. So you've got more time to implement. Want some info? And again, same thing, you can send over a link. Now, I can't believe I'm giving this one out for free, but this is my favorite one-to-one script I've ever used. And it has made me so much money. Whether it's a cash campaign or any other time, you can use this as a follow-up script and it freaking crushes. I'm super curious, and I hope you don't mind me asking, we're currently making a ton of upgrades to the program or the offer or the service or whatever it is. And I know you've been on the fence for a while. What would it need to look like for it to be a no-brainer for you to work with us? I absolutely love this frame. It's so powerful, it's so attractive, and it's such a low friction message to send. You will have a very high reply rate on that. It's obviously a very genuine question. And what's going to happen is objections are going to come to the surface. Now, here's what's hilarious. Sometimes you send this out and your replies will be like, the replies I often get, which is, you know what? I don't even know why I'm waiting. Let's get started. And the amount of times I've gotten that response and I'm just like blown away. I'm like, man, if I didn't send that message, I wouldn't have got that client. And so framing it like this, what would it need to look like for it to be a no-brainer for you to work with us, is a powerful question to ask to either get people off the fence in your program, in your offer, or to get genuine concerns and objections that you can then deal with in chat and ideally move towards a call. The last piece here I want to really mention is that you don't just want to reach out to people that are the right person that you're trying to attract. You can reach out to people who might know them. This is how you can generate referrals. So the referral script that I found worked best is really simple. Hey, first name, I'm in the middle of launching something for a niche who want result, and I thought you might know someone who'd be interested. Does anyone come to mind? By the way, if they successfully sign up, I'd love to send you $500 just as a way of saying thanks for the connection. Now, that money piece is optional, right? And you might change the amount based on what you're actually willing to pay. Some of you might be willing to pay more, right? Some of you are running ads and you're paying $1,000, $2,000 to acquire a customer. You might be more than happy to send that money to someone else to generate a referral for you as opposed to paying Mark Zuckerberg, right? But the point is that you're now going beyond just the people that you personally know that could be a great fit, and you're trying to reach into your network. So sending this to current clients, sending this to prospects that weren't the right fit but might know someone who is the right fit. But you could honestly go really wide with this. You could even try sending this to cold people, right? And you would either generate leads for yourself through that person being the right fit, or you might just generate some leads of people who know someone, and then they can put you in a group chat and go from there. So these are a couple of scripts that have absolutely crushed for me. Again, don't just copy and paste them and hope that they magically work for you. Make sure that it matches your voice, it matches your offer, and it matches your audience. And so what I'm going to do now is just recap so that you know how to implement this as fast as possible to get on that track of 5 to 15 extra new clients in the next 30 days.
So let's recap. I've worked with over 800 clients, and a huge chunk of those clients have come through these things we call cash campaigns. So whatever your business is, whatever your offer is, I want to just recap this so you know exactly how to implement it over the next 30 days to get these extra 5 to 15 clients into your business with the least amount of stress and overwhelm as possible. So number one, you've either got a brand new offer you're bringing to the market, or you've got an old offer that you're either re-talking about, or you're upgrading in some way. So you want to find a way to increase the value perception of your offer in such a way that people understand the ROI, what's the dream outcome, and the COI, what's the cost of inaction, and why is now the best time to sign up. We can do this through firstly understanding psychology, right, of why someone should want to work with us and what's really in it for them. How are they going to benefit by having a better business, a better acquisition system, a fat loss strategy that really works for their particular problems. But what you want to do is also figure out, of the tools in your arsenal, how can you create urgency and scarcity that is actually real, none of this fake, like, at 3 o'clock today, the price increases by whatever, and it just never increases. We're not into that here, right? You want to create real urgency and scarcity based on either a price increase, adding in bonuses, or playing around with guarantees. Keep in mind, the beauty of cash campaigns is you're not necessarily upgrading your program and changing things forever. You might use this as a temporary solution to bring in clients. You might be committing to a service delivery model that you don't want to have long term, but you're happy to have for 5, 10, or 15 extra clients. Number two is you want to create a promotion strategy that lasts 1 to 2 weeks. And you want to firstly clearly outlay what this offer is about. Why are people interested? Who is it for? What is in it for them? And what are the pieces of the puzzle that you want to major on so that people understand why this is irresistible? You don't talk about all the aspects of your offer, but you talk about the key ones that are high value to the people you're trying to reach. Number two, you want to utilize social proof and then find different ways to talk about this offer over the next 1 to 2 weeks. So it's not you reposting the same thing over and over again. You want to create a content strategy that promotes that neon light across that 1 to 2 weeks so people don't miss it. Connected to that is you want to think about the different channels you have at your disposal, right? The way algorithms work, you post once, not everyone in your audience is going to see it. So utilize whatever channels you have to go big with this. Newsfeed, emails, stories, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you've got at your disposal, use it, maximize it, and be right on the edge of feeling like you're over promoting. Because if you feel like you're over promoting, you're probably promoting just right. And then number three is utilize private conversations, because the more conversations you have, the more money you make. So utilize those scripts that I gave you to really maximize the return on this time and energy spent in this cash campaign. Reach out to people privately, build that warm list, personalize and individualize, don't just spam, and then figure out if there's also ways that you can connect with people that might not be the right fit, but might know someone who's the right fit. So reach out to clients, reach out to prospects, and see if you can generate some referrals this way. This is something I'm highly highly confident works for almost every single person. Now, if you're right at the start, no offer, no audience, obviously results are going to vary. But for many of you, if you just take what I said in this video and actually implement it step by step by step, you will be astounded at the results, because this is literally the roadmap and the stuff that I've used to generate over $7 million in the last few years. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you want the link to the document that I've gone over multiple times in this video, it will be in the top link in the video below. I'm hoping this was helpful, and I'll see you in another video.